Hey, what's going on, guys? Mango here, and today what we're going to be doing is unboxing the PlayStation 5. So, first to start off with, the PlayStation 5 does come with 8K capabilities, but hold off on that. True 4K capabilities, 8K probably checkerboard rendering. This has been verified by StockX, so that is where I picked up my PS5. So in the pandemic, waiting for the PS5 to eventually hit retailers, I decided to take that hit. So we're gonna get right into the unboxing and try to cut this open as best as I can. I really need to get like an unboxing knife or something, so I just used the nearest pen I had by. So what we're going to be doing inside of this unboxing video is we're going to be taking a look at the things that come inside the box, that's inside the box, that's inside the box. So we're going to peel back the curtain on what all comes with the glorious and hard to get PlayStation 5. So what we're going to be doing at the end of the video is we're going to be reviewing the DualSense controller in its entirety and go over just a few things that I like and dislike about it, but overall give you an unbiased opinion on the DualSense controller because I know a lot of people really like it, but it does have its flaws too. So once we crack open the bottom of this box, I'm holding on to the top of the box, so you guys don't freak out. It's not going to just drop out the bottom and the PlayStation 5 is going to go sliding across the floor. I had complete control of it the whole time. Kinda. Alright, so we finally got it out of its first box. Now, what we're introduced with here is the white box that the PlayStation 5 is housed in, and that is going to show us and give us everything that we need inside of it. So without further ado, this is the rest of the PlayStation 5 unboxing. So when we open up the PS5's box, we are given a few things here. The things that are inside of this box is surprisingly another box. So I'm blocked off from getting my PS5 right away because I have to slide this box off of the top. It conveniently was placed in there, but inconveniently I had to slide the PS5 out in this manner, and it was a bit sketch. I don't know if there was any other way to take the PS5 out of the box, but this is the way that I chose to do it. So without dropping the PlayStation 5 off of my Walmart vault table, I decided to move it with the utmost care off of the thing that was blocking me from my PS5. So getting into this rectangular shaped box that was in my way, this houses the most important stuff that comes with your PlayStation 5. So once we get inside, we are introduced to the standard things that you would think would come inside of here. So we have the instruction manual. We don't care about that. We have the power cable that surprisingly is not overly encumbering, is sleek. It does have one hell of a twist tie on it, I tell you that. That thing was not going anywhere. But it isn't like a big old brick. It doesn't got like a fat input device to plug inside the back of the PlayStation 5. It's conveniently smooth for what this next generation has brought to the table. And we do have more instruction manuals that come inside the box. And also what we have housed back there is the infamous PlayStation 5 stand. Now, the PlayStation 5 stand, I, for the life of me, couldn't figure out how to put the stand on. And you're going to see that later in the video that I desperately tried to attach this stand in some shape or fashion. But I probably should have read that instruction manual that I discarded back at the beginning of the video to figure out how this stand is actually supposed to stand the PlayStation 5. But I digress. So the cheaply made plastic of the PlayStation 5 stand kind of threw me off as well. And then we have the HDMI 2.0 cable that did come with the PlayStation 5. So I already had a HDMI 2.0 cable that I had bought for my LG 31.5-inch computer monitor that I did an unboxing on in an earlier video. So I didn't use the HDMI 2.0 cable that came with the PlayStation 5. Maybe I should, but I already had one. So we do have the infamous DualSense controller. Now, I don't think that the controller should have been a white, blackish type of controller. The controller does feel smooth. It does have some fairly okay grips on it. The triggers are responsive, and compared to my hands, the controller sits pretty small. So for those who have smaller hands, the controller could probably feel quite large. It's comfortable, but it's not a convenient type of controller. The Astro C40 controller that I bought for my PlayStation 4 still works with the PlayStation 5. Now, it doesn't have haptic feedback, but it performs nonetheless. So, but we'll be getting into a more deeper review of the DualSense 5 controller at the end of the video. So we're going to get into all that on my gripes about the controller, because I feel strongly about the DualSense controller, but the haptic feedback is cool. So let's get this box out of the way. And good thing I check the box like when I did my Asus review for my laptop. I need to. You got to check the box, because you never know what you're going to miss in there. And this was probably one of the more important things that I needed to pull out of there, which was actually the PlayStation 5 DualSense charging cable. And it is a USB-C charging cable. I do not know if it's a rapid charging C cable, but nonetheless, it is a USB-C cable. So it attaches firmly. I didn't see that it was going to slide out. It does have good grip for a USB-C controller, and with over time, I'm guessing that that's going to loosen up. But with it being straight out the box, it was quite impressive that it was able to hold the controller in such a manner, because I know some of us get a little lazy and want to grab the controller by the cord, and it's just a good thing that it didn't fall onto the ground as I was doing this test. So now that we have everything outside of the PlayStation 5 rectangle box that prevented us from getting to our ultimate goal here, which is our glorious white on black PlayStation 5, we'll recap. What we have is we do have the HDMI 2.0 cable, the power cable, the stand, we have the charging cord, and we have the infamous DualSense controller. So let's get into unboxing the PlayStation 5. Now, unboxing the PlayStation 5 didn't take quite as long as I thought it would, because there's only 3 things stopping me from actually looking at the PlayStation 5. 2 cardboard covers and a paper mache plastic bag that apparently keeps things safe and secure when transporting highly expensive digital equipment. I'm not mad about it. It's just, I just felt like they didn't care. But as you pull this thing out of its paper mache piece of paper, you can feel that the weight of the PlayStation 5 is uncomfortably heavy. It's top light, like bottom heavy. So the PlayStation 4 is actually, the PlayStation 4 Pro is actually a lot heavier than the PlayStation 5 in general, but you can feel where you need to hold this to have the positive control of it. On the back, you do have USB 3.0 Thunderbolt charging. You have the Ethernet and the HDMI and the power hookup. Now, everything on the back there are vents. Everything on the sides and the front of this thing has vents. There's no shortage of vents. And there's also the area to where when you stand the PlayStation 5 is where you're supposed to put the little screw in to attach the stand to the PlayStation 5 to keep it secure. Now, with this, the PlayStation 5 In its upright position, it does look like all the memes. It is oddly shaped. It has this big old vents. But all in all, what you need to know is importantly is that you should not use the PlayStation 5 without the stand. Now, the stand is not an option. It is a recommendation. It is a thing that you need. Why? Because as I explained earlier, this thing is just full of vents. Now, imagine you placing a fan against a wall. It's supposed to be circulating air, but yet you place it against a wall and try to get it to circulate air. Then it's literally just going to be blowing out the air into itself. You're choking the fan. That's the whole purpose of the stand. The stand is not optional. The stand is necessary. The PlayStation 5 needs to breathe. That's the whole purpose of the stand. I can't stress that enough. A lot of people will probably be like, the stand looks ugly. The stand will keep your PlayStation 5 alive, because I don't know about you guys, but I didn't pay retail value for this thing. So for those who don't have a PlayStation 5 still waiting on retail sales, I mean, then you could probably throw away your PlayStation 5 stand. But until then, for those of us who acquired the PlayStation 5 without being hooked up by Sony or whatever, being a million subscriber YouTuber, use the stand. It's necessary. But I do digress. The PlayStation 5 stand is actually miraculous. It does do a really good job at keeping the PlayStation 5 upright. It can be pushed around, bounced around. I'm pressing on it pretty hard to try to get it to fall. It takes a lot. It's a really well balanced stand, and it does what it needs to do. The PlayStation 5 can pop in and out of it, which it shouldn't, because you should have the screw on it, but it does keep it upright when using it in the upright position. So thank you, PlayStation 5 stand. Now, I decided to go with placing my PlayStation 5 in the horizontal position. Now, it fits with the aesthetic and the layout, the way that I have my setup going here. But when it's all hooked up and everything's going for it, this is what everything looks like. It's less busy in the back than I thought. And that's me having the, hard drive plugged into it. Then I have the microphone plugged into it with the HDMI and the power cable and everything that's going on there. It looks real clean. It's good and spaced out. So now, getting into the DualSense controller, as you can see that the orange light is on, the controller itself has a microphone that I keep muted at all times. I don't know why the microphone's there, but I muted it because I use a real microphone. Now, the grips that I have on there, they are Game Freak. They did come off my PlayStation 4 controller. They fit, but they don't fit like snug, like how they should fit, but they fit good enough to where they don't fall off during gaming. So the knobs that are on the DualSense controller are right around the same size as the PlayStation 4. So, and that's just a little bit too small for me, since these are just a little bit smaller. I need the extra thumb space. Now, getting into the USB-C cord here, it is a fair length. I want to say it's about 3 feet long. I don't know why it wasn't a lot longer than that. 6 feet standardly would have been good. If it is 6 feet long, maybe 10 feet, but I think it's 3 feet long. I'm pretty sure. It's pretty short. You got to be kind of like right up on the PlayStation to use this cord while you're gaming. Now, again, at the beginning of the video, you saw that I plugged it in and it is quite secure. It locks in there pretty well. The controller charges fairly fast. You don't need to leave the charger plugged in overnight. I don't recommend it. And if you do plug it in overnight, have your USB settings turned off after like 3 hours when it's in rest mode. You don't want the controller charging all night. You don't want the lithium batteries inside of it to burn out, because the longer you charge something, the battery gets worn out and all that. And you know how batteries are supposed to work, so don't leave it charged up overnight. If you're going to use it, plug it up, use it when you use it. Now, when we take the USB side and plug it into the PlayStation, again, the PlayStation 5 did surprise me with how snug everything fits in there. When I was using the PlayStation 4, the PlayStation 4 Pro, no matter what, it just felt like when I plugged in the USB slots, it was in there, but I always felt like it was ready to come out. It just didn't feel as secure. I do like it that I do feel that it's doing the job that it was meant to do from the get-go. Now, when you use the charging cable with the cord, you can go into your settings option and use, I don't know why the feature exists, but I mean, you can change it from Bluetooth to the cord connection, I guess maybe to cut down on some type of millisecond lag that comes with the controller. My Astro C40 controller has that option too, but I just don't, that it just didn't seem like a strong market push for that feature for the controller, but it's there if you want to use it nonetheless. So the controller can also take any 3.5mm jack headset into it, but you don't have to use a fancy, headset with it or anything like that. The 3D audio can be used with any headset that you plug into it. It's the fidelity of the audio of the headphones that you're going to be using to get the most out of your 3D audio settings for what the PlayStation 5 can deliver in performance in reference to the 3D audio settings. So if you have high quality headphones, you're going to get high quality 3D audio. If you have cheap 3D audio headphones, or like you're using Apple, headphones for the 3D audio, you may not get the best 3D audio that you want. But anything Astro, anything Turtle Beach, anything of that nature, you're going to get top quality 3D audio nonetheless. Anything Sony made is going to do quite well. Now, I do detach the little grips that I did buy from the Control Freak store, and again, I don't like the original sticks that come with it. I do like using the Control Freak extra thumb grips because it elevates the gaming instead of whatever Sony had going for it for the sticks that they decided to place on the DualSense controller. They're just not for me. They're too low, they're too grippy on the edges, they're not meant for long gaming periods. They do, I guess I would say they do too much. The triggers are surprisingly very springy. The L1, R1 buttons are quite snappy, and the D-pad, when pressed, is flush. You can feel the input. It isn't anything that's going to leave you wanting. Now, like I said before, the white on black just isn't my favorite because we're gamers. We're going to be drinking soda, Mountain Dew, Cheetos. We're going to be eating food and just gaming for long periods of time. This does not have, what I can tell, like an anti-sweat type of deal on it. So if you get into high PvP activity, some COD, some Warzone, some Destiny 2, type of Trials of Osiris, something like that, and you start getting sweaty palms, the controller's just not going to favor you and your sweaty palms. It's definitely not made for the sweaty gamer. Nonetheless, it does have some sort of feel texturized grip on the back, but the top of it is still smooth and flush, so it's not meant for that type of activity. So I would suggest to get like a grip of some sort for the controller. I know I'm going to in the future if I'm going to continue using the controller. Last but not least, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the PlayStation 5's graphics up close and personal. I hope you guys liked the video. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.
I'm watching you. I won't last until dinner. How's it feel? So we finally meet.